and coming to you, Philadelphia, United States, and I work for L3Harris Technologies, a very large corporation specializing in mission critical communications, technology, and other solutions.
It's a pleasure to have you, Justin. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're going to have a swell time here, I can assure you.
Yeah, so I also come here today as a retired chief of police from the Philadelphia Police Department, formerly the chief of the Philadelphia Sheriffs, the chief deputy of the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office. It's a very major department here in the United States. The country was founded in Philadelphia, so you can imagine to be a part of the Philadelphia Police Department is the greatest department of police in our country.
Yep, I can imagine. And you actually do look the part.
Well, it was very interesting to be invited here today because I have 25 years of servicing a community and understanding mental health issues and how to actually provide those types of public services and what works and what doesn't work.
Yes. And as Dr. Yoba would always mention, it's a global problem. It's a global concern. The World Health Organization has made it clear that it is something that more people need to join their voices to sensitize people at the very least, and then to empower people to become better versions of themselves, as we say here all the time. So the fact that you are interested in an initiative of this nature is something that we are happy about as well.
No, it's a pleasure to help where I can. You know, I have many years of policing and a community experience, and I'm glad to add it anywhere I can to help.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. You're welcome once again. So let's welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. It's a pleasure to have you all. So I'm going to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're connected to us from. It's a pleasure to have you all. I'd like to also add that this has become like a significant part of my Sunday evenings. And I'm saying evenings because I'm in this part of the world. So it's something that I look forward to twice every month because the wealth of knowledge that we share here at the mental health webinar is just wonderful. It's really, really commendable. It's awesome. Over the past couple of weeks, we've had the opportunity of having in this very room different people, thought leaders, industry experts, mental health advocates, and even medical professionals as well, who have joined us on this call to join their voices, to share their insights, their valuable knowledge on practical steps and areas that we can be a part of the mental health movement. Again, I warmly welcome each and every one of you. And I'd like to remind you that this program is proudly sponsored by PUI, Prime Unique Women Initiative. Prime Unique Women Initiative is a non-governmental organization that is solely dedicated to the empowerment, enlightenment of women and girls. Of course, we do other things by extension, but the one place that we focus the bulk of our attention to is on helping women and young girls to become better versions of themselves. And we do this in different forms, in various means, from going to schools to sensitize people, to going to medical facilities, to going to rural communities, to even carrying some of our delegates abroad, right? To wherever the need takes us, to make sure that they're empowered, to make sure that they're enlightened, to make sure that they receive the enabling environment that they need to succeed and to become better versions of themselves. The one person who has made this initiative possible and who continues to make sure that this program gets just the right funding that it needs is Dr. Mrs. Folake Yoba. In the next 1 minute, I'm going to introduce her. But before I do that, I'd like to really remind you all that this is not a one-man initiative, or should I say, this is not a one-woman initiative. So if she is doing so much on her own, now imagine what she could do with support, with enabling environment, with collaboration from like-minded individuals such as you. The truth of the matter is there is no effort that is so small when it comes to making a difference. Everybody has the opportunity to be able to support this initiative in one form or another. It could be as little as sharing insights that you have learned from this webinar to a friend. It could be as little as saying, oh, I attended this webinar last week and this is one thing I learned. That person can learn from the insights that you share. It could be as little as inviting someone else to join this program. It could be as little as making financial, pecuniary donations, contributions to say, you know what, I feel that there are more women who, if they had internet data, for example, they would be able to attend this program. What if it was possible to go to correctional facilities, to go to medical facilities to say, is it possible to put a television somewhere, for example, to provide Zoom access, for example, so that more women can gather together in this rural community to be part of this program? What if we could drive down to these rural communities to sit down with these people to speak a language that they understand? If it is Hausa, if it is Nigerian Pidgin, if it is whatever language that they would understand, what if we could take our experts to this community to speak to them? All of these things can be possible with your combined effort. All of these things can be possible with your contributions. We want to remind you that no effort is small or is too small when it comes to making a difference. The reason I'm saying this is if during or after this call, you feel like there is a need for you to send a message to Puri, for example, to send a message to us to say, I see what you're doing, I think it's great, and I think I want more women or more men or more children to be part of this initiative, to get to learn this. I want to join my voice to make it possible for more people to get to benefit from this program. We will be glad to work with you on such. And of course, we will gladly recognize you and say, were it not for the support of so-and-so, we would not have been able to take this to this community. But for the support of this person, this is what we have been able to achieve. We'll be glad to have you on our team. We'll be glad to work with you to make this possible. Now that that is clear, I'd like to introduce Dr. Mrs. Folake Yoba so that she can welcome you all.
Good evening, friends. I'm happy to have you here with us this evening. And I'm so grateful for creating time to be with us. I say a very big thank you to Mr. Justin joining us all the way from Washington, D.C., in the United States of America, and a host of others who have joined from across the globe as well, and also those who will be joining very soon. We are glad to have you here. This is a room where we share knowledge, where we try to sensitize people on the need for them to actually pay attention to their mental health, because it is non-discriminatory. Anybody could have any form of disease anywhere. And we are not talking about those who already have mental health disorder. We are talking about all of us, and perhaps people around us who will need our attention to get their mental health in good condition. So that's why we've been doing this for a couple of months now. And we are happy that we've been able to make impacts, because many people have called us outside the program to tell us how they have benefited from this program. And we don't intend to stop at any time, really. Rather, we want to get stronger, and we need more participation from all of you. Felix has said so much, and we are not here to tell stories. We want to go into the business of the day. And so that at the end of this program, you will gain something, you take something home, and you may come out tomorrow or some other time to tell us, these are the areas you want us to pay attention to, and these are the things you want us to do. And if you give us all the supports too, we can also be able to touch more lives. We'll be able to touch more lives. So Mr. Justin, our friend from the US, please, we'll call you soon when we finish the first phase of the program, when we expect that we want to have a summary from two people. I hope Barrister Nina is in the house. Dr. Nina, are you in the house?
Yes, ma'am, here.
Okay, please, because we would like you to do a summary for us. And also, Mr. Clement, are you in the house? Is Mr. Clement inside in the house? Okay, if he's not yet there, please let's contact him to come on, because he's going to also summarize a part of what we've done, so that we don't leave it for Dr. Nina only to do. So in the next 10 minutes, we want to go on that, and then we continue from there. And then we like to have Mr. Justin talk to us after these people we have mentioned. And we'll let you know when we want to listen to you, because it's important we listen to you, because we know that you have solutions. You've been in this industry for like so many years, decades now, and you have wealth of experience, particularly coming from the global scene. You have wealth of experience. So we are willing and happy to listen to you. And I know by the time we'll take you on, there'll be more people in the house who will benefit from the experience you want to share with us. please give us the next few minutes. Let's just go on the program as we already planned. Let us have Dr. Nina tell us summary of what we've done in the past week. Okay, that's great. Okay, fine. So when we are done with Dr. Nina and Mr. Clements, we also want to have a, okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So please, let's pay attention to Dr. Nina. Felix. Thank you so much. Dr. Nina, please come on and let's have you in the next 5-7 minutes. We should be okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Yuba. I must say that you've done excellently well these few weeks to organize this program. It's an eye-opener for most of us. Coming from the legal background, I used to think that when mentioned mental health, that it was just about those who are psychologically imbalanced and those who are in what do you call it now, drug abuse and all those kind of the extreme kind of mental health. So I never knew that people can have mental health disorder and they're walking about freely in their workplaces, at home, and it is affecting several things. And we just live normal as if everything is all right without, I never even knew depression was part of mental health until we started this program. So thank you to PUI and all the executive of PUI. So from the last few weeks, we have studied a whole lot of things about mental health. We studied the types of mental health. We also studied common causes in mental health. So hello, can someone hear me?
Go ahead, please. We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Okay, sorry about that. So
you're back now. You're back now.
Okay, thank you. So mental health refers to a person's emotional, psychological, and social well-being. So we're taught that it influences how people think, how we feel, how we act, and it also helps determine how we handle our stress, how we relate to others, and how we make our choices. So we also learned that good mental health is essential for our overall well-being and quality of life. We were also taught types of mental health disorder. It was mentioned that anxiety disorder is part of them. Anxiety disorder is characterized by excessive worry, fear, anxiety, such as generalized anxiety disorder, like panic disorder, phobias. They mentioned mood disorder, which include conditions that affect a person's emotional state, such as depression, bipolar depression, seasonal affective disorder, schizophrenia, and other psychotic disorder, which also involve disruption in thinking, emotions, perception that may cause a person to lose their touch with reality. So mental health can also affect your eating disorder, like we studied the last time, can also affect your gut feeling. And we also said that we need to watch the kind of food we eat, because when you have this mental health disorder, you notice that you lose touch to reality and you start eating anything you see. Conditions that are characterized by abnormal eating habits, such as nervosa, anorexia nervosa. We also talked about some binge eating disorder. We also talked about substance use disorder, which also involve the misuse of alcohol, drugs, or other substances that can lead to addiction, negative consequences. And I personally also spoke about how our mental health affects the relationship between mental health and crime. We said that the last time I visited the correction center, we had several people who were affected because they couldn't control, they lost touch of reality, and they couldn't manage their mental health. So they did things out of depression, they did things out of the fact that they couldn't control their anger. And so these were some of the things we see at the correctional center. And we said that the relationship between crime and mental health is very thin, very slim. And most of the things that happen is because of poor mental health. It's been happening, it was neglected. So we were not paying attention to it until the acts were carried out. And so when you go to prisons and you ask people questions, they tell you, I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know when I did it. I was just carried away by my emotion. It was psychologically, I didn't know when I used the knife. I didn't know when I shot him. I wish I can turn back the hands of time. And so we began to make more researches, speaking to the directors and those people that handles these guys in the prison. Now we began to ask them, how do you people help these people who are in the correctional center? Because you see them coming back to do the same crime. There are people who are serial visitors of the prison, the cell, the correctional center. Why do they have to come back to the same place where they were locked up for 3 years? Is it that they enjoy this doing the same thing? So we realized that some of them can't even help themselves. So we suggested that it is not enough to lock up these guys in a room and take them out from the public, seize their freedom while they are in the prison or correctional center. What is the role of the agencies or the organizations in making sure that they fix the mental health of these guys? Locking them up and not speaking to them is already a punishment. It's already going to disrupt their mental health further. That you see some of them talking to themselves, some of them go into depression. And so that is where PUI and you and every other organization that's involved in mental health should enable or should go to these places, speak to them, get a date, speak to them one-on-one, encourage them, tell them that everything is going to be all right, try to speak them out of their depression, try to make them better people. And we also talked about substance use. We talked about personality disorder, which affect how a person thinks or feels. Some people behave abnormal and they think it is normal. It's really not normal. So you see people and even in the office, you think they're okay. They're not okay. Sometimes it could be as a result of work-life imbalance. And we also said that our employers should take off time to speak to people apart from the target and goals they set for us. Do they bother themselves to even think about how their employees are faring? If you see someone who's been doing well, who's been smashing all their goals, and all of a sudden this person started coming to work late, this person is not meeting target, you don't really have to fire immediately. Take your time, talk to this person, give them 1 or 2 chances. We know that our offices are not charitable organization, right? So, but it would be nice if we are empathetic towards some of these cases, because most of them might be having issues from their house, which is affecting their performance in the office. So what have we done? Is there a welfare department in the office that balances the culture of the company and the mental health, emotional health of our employees? We spoke about all these things, and we decided that we are going to go into some corporate organization, talk to them about the work-life balance and how they can be more productive at their workplaces. And so we also talk about causes of mental health disorder. We said some of these causes might be biological factor. It could be genetic, it could be brain chemistry, hormonal imbalance, can also contribute to the development of mental health disorder. It also could be environmental factor, some traumatic life events, an event from the past. It could be abuse, it could be some kind of traumatic or chronic stress. It could be neglect, it could be exposure to violence, which the person is not able to relieve from their past. This can increase the risk of mental health. And we also talked about psychological factor, personality traits, coping mechanism, and cognitive pattern can also influence a person's susceptibility to mental health disorder. It could also be as a result of social factors, some kind of isolation. Kids that are bullied from their school can grow up being isolated by themselves. It could be lack of social support. It could be discrimination because you are a minority or you're from a certain place. It could also be socio-economical factor, which can also affect an individual and contribute to the development of this disorder. It could also be co-occurring conditions, some physical health problems like chronic illness or disability. Most people with disabilities they always go into depression because they feel sad that they are not like other people. So, and the question is, have we ever gone to these houses, these places where we see a lot of disabled people? How do we talk to them and make them feel that everything is all right? Is enough punishment to be disabled, and adding it up to mental challenges, some unhealthy mental issues can also be very traumatic. So I would like us to, I'm rounding up now, I would like us to take our time as individuals, as an organization, to visit these people with these people that have disability. If you notice very well, you'll find out that people with disability are always very aggressive. They are very angry. So it is a form of mental health. It comes as a result of the fact that some of them feel that life is unfair. And so they need people to constantly reassure them, constantly remind them that their disability does not mean and that they are incapable of doing one or two things. So Dr. Yoba, I don't want to take all of our time. This is just a summary of what we have learned so far. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Fantastic one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is Mr. Clement there to take it up from here? Felix?
Yeah, he's actually on the call, but I don't know if it's okay for him.
Okay, Dr. Nina, we quite appreciate you. We always do, because you're always on point. Then, because we've done quite a lot about this mental health matters, and we know that we should actually be going towards solutions, because that's actually what we need. But sensitizing people and letting them understand when we talk about mental health, what we mean is actually also a very good one. It's the right step in the right direction, because most times people actually misunderstand when we talk of mental health. They just think that somebody must be mad, somebody must be raving mad on the streets for you to actually want to listen to somebody. And so they feel if they don't have a friend, if they don't have any family member who has mental disorder and is on the streets, that this is not their business. And we've tried to let everybody understand that it's actually everybody's business. And that's why we are taking it upon ourselves to hold this program in spite of all challenges. So, and you know why we should love and appreciate this program is because actually right now, if you go online, you go to Google to find out the opinion of WHO, or the research they've carried out shows that out of about 4 people that you see, 1 person has mental health disorder. Don't you know it's a big problem? for a nation of over 200 million. That means we probably have over 40 million people who have mental health disorders all around us. And if we don't know how to identify this, how do we help them? We may also actually have some sort of disorder or one form or some form of disorder unknown to us, because most people who have these mental health disorders or who don't have good enough or sound mental health don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They don't even want to believe they could have this problem. So it's indeed a big deal. So thank you so much, Dr. Nina. We keep doing this fortnightly. And then right now, we had to go into research to look at what solutions that we have. It is not every time that people have these mental health challenges that they must run to the hospital or go to a psychiatric home or so. There are some things that we can do with nature that can actually help us to maintain our sanity or improve the functions of our brains and then make us to live better. So right in the house, I hope we have Dr. Faith there. She's a naturopathic doctor. And she is going to be talking to us from the standpoint of nature. How do we take care of our mental health? And if we have mental health challenges, what are the solutions that we probably could have around us or that we can access from nature? Is Dr. Faith there? Dr. Faith, are you in the house? Felix?
Yes, she's here. So let's give her a minute to be ready for us.
Okay, that's all right. So let's have Dr. Faith talk to us from the standpoint of naturopathic medicine. Because moving forward, after today, we're going to bring other medical people into this program, and we also go into religion. Because although our NGO is not for religion, and we are not partisan, we don't do politics, we don't do religion. But these are the things that are very, very germane with people. People live in the world today, and we have to face the realities of what is obtainable around us. So for this night, we are going to have Dr. Faith talk about mental health through the lens of naturopathy. Thank you, Dr. Faith. Let's have you on now.
Okay, Dr. Faith, I see that your mic is not muted, but I don't know if you're talking at the moment. If you're using headphones, you may want to stop using it, and then let's try. Sorry, everyone. Let's give her a minute. Maybe she's having a bit of a technical problem, but she's ready for us. So say 60 seconds, she should be good to go. Oh, no, we cannot hear you. Are you talking? So if you're talking, you may want to stop using your headphones. Just use the device as it is. That may help you. Okay, Dr. Nina, I think you have something for us. Please go ahead.
Okay, so while we're waiting for Dr. Faith to come on board, I just felt I should share a few solutions from some of the things we've learned. And after which, I think we will share some of the slides at the end of the program. I'll try to put up something, share to Felix. And for those who want to get the slide, they will have it. So what are the solutions to mental health? Um, addressing mental health issue requires a comprehensive approach. It is very sad that in our society, we are so ashamed to walk up to people and say, okay, I'm having this problem, I am depressed, especially the men, because they feel that men should not talk. So they feel we are strong people. And you see, that's why most of these men, you see them slump all of a sudden because they've had this issue, especially now that our country is going through some kind of economical challenge. Dr. Faith, when you are ready, please just send me a message. Felix, when she's ready, let me know. And so it is essential that, it is essential that we walk up to people, we talk to close friends. These things are happening to us. And in a society where we feel so ashamed, we don't even know who to talk to because we are scared that I come to you and I tell you my problem. The next thing, everybody gets to know about my issue at home, about my family problem. So because of the economical problem we're having in the country now, you see husband and wife, they keep quarreling, they keep fighting. And so, and you don't want to talk about it, even in our religious houses, because you just don't want someone else to know. You don't want somebody to use you as a topic of discussion. So what do you do? What are some of the solutions? You seek professional help. You consult a mental health professional, someone who does not even know you, someone who you can talk to, a psychologist, psychiatric person, a counselor, a therapist for assessment and treatment. We can also consider therapy option like CBT, the cognitive behavioral therapy, and DBT, the dialectical behavioral therapy, or even interpersonal therapy to address certain issue. I remember sometimes when I was younger, I used to be gamophobia. Gamophobia is a kind of mental health that you don't want to commit. You are scared of commitment. You're always isolated. You don't want to commit in any relationship. It can start well. You go out, you want people to be friends with you, and once they start coming close to you, you run away, you shut off. So there are also kind of a lot of mental health where you are a perfectionist. You come into the house, you want your things to be placed where you kept them. So it makes it difficult for people to live with you. People can't even live successfully 1 month with you without you having issues with them. Some mental health, you could need medication. It could also be self-care practice. You can engage in self-care activity like regular exercise, adequate sleep, healthy eating. You can relax, stress management, go outside, look for what you love to do, go and have fun, go and eat anything you like to do, some social support. You can also join fun group, go to the park instead of isolating yourself. So you build and maintain strong social connection with your friends, your family, your support group. You can join any form of group. So when that was happening to me, I joined Rotary group, I joined Toastmasters, I joined MBA group. So I stopped being alone. I want to go out every time. I want to relate to people. So you can also have a lifestyle change. You can adopt a lifestyle change that include regular physical activities. You can get a balanced diet. You can also try to avoid harmful substances like alcohol. When you start taking, some people think when they take alcohol, it's going to suppress their problem. And that's not true, because that alcohol is going to go off your mind, your eyes, and you're going to realize that the problem never went away. So what do you now do? It causes you to be constantly on alcohol because you want to keep drinking alcohol so that you can run away from your reality. So instead of relying on alcohol and drugs, it makes it worse because you just want to be in touch with your reality. So there's something we also call crisis intervention, where you familiarize yourself with emergency resources, like people to talk to, the mental health crisis centers. You develop a crisis plan, like, okay, you make plans to say, I'm going to go out and do exercise today. Tomorrow, I'm going to go to work. When I come back, I'm going to read inspirational book. I'm going to watch inspirational movies. And so these are some of the few solutions I think we should adapt. And how do you even know that you are going into depression? When you see that you no longer want to associate with people, the things that used to give you fun, all right, the things you used to enjoy, you stop enjoying it. You don't want to talk to people. You don't want to eat food. So these are some of the signs that will tell you that, hey, I need to check my mental health. Dr. Faith, are you here now?
Yes, ma.
All right, thank
Yes,
you.
I'm here.
Nice to have you back.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, fam. Sorry, it rained heavily here, so I think that was disrupting my network. So this evening I'll be talking on mental health through the lens of naturopathy. For those of you who are new to this word, naturopathy is a system of healing in which we use diet and substances freely found in nature. Some of these substances are water, air, herbs, sunlight, gemstones, earth, So far it's found in nature, and it is therapeutic. We use it. So this is what naturopathy is all about. And another important thing about naturopathy is that it is holistic in nature. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So we don't just focus on physical symptoms alone. In fact, even before modern medicine started seeing the link between emotions and physical diseases. As in naturopathic medicine has long established the fact that there was a link between our emotions and how healthy we are. So we do holistic approach. We treat the physical body, we treat the soul, which is the emotions, and then we get awesome and amazing results. So let's start by defining health. What is the World Health Organization definition of health? They define health as a physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. This means somebody can be without any physical symptoms, but if the person doesn't have like if the person cannot stand up for themselves in public, or if the person is just behaving one way or the other, we cannot say that person is healthy, even though there are absence of physical symptoms. Or social well-being, some people can be, they will not have any physical symptoms, but they do very bad when they are in social gatherings, they behave awkward and all that. So we can't say that person is healthy. So this is the real definition of health. It is holistic, it is all round. So what is mental health? World Health Organization defines it as a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution. So this means that, this has just given us what mental health is. Some people don't have the ability to cope with stress. For instance, some people, when they are stressed, they resort to illicit drugs, smoking, overeating, or like they just pick up one kind of unhealthy coping mechanism. So it is safe to say that those people, they are not mentally okay because they don't have the ability to cope with the normal stresses of life. So what does mental health entails? It entails how we think, feel, and act. So if someone's thinking is always negative, is always awkward, we can say that person is not mentally okay. It is not until someone has removed clothes and enter into the road that we say the person is mentally affected and all that. How we handle stress, yes, I said it. Some people handle stress perfectly, they take their time, they relax, they know what and what to take. Some people, they resort into drugging, smoking, they binge on alcohol, they overeat and all that. How we relate to others, yes, some people, some people tell you that they have no friends, and then when you go close to them, you will not see the reason why they have no friends. So that is also under mental health. Make healthy choices. Some people don't know how to make healthy choices. In fact, I was reading on addiction, because our topic for this week was supposed to be on addiction before it was shifted. So I was saying the mind body therapy view on addiction, and they were saying that the root cause, that the emotion that causes addiction at the root cause, is the inability of that individual to love themselves. They don't know how to love themselves. They are running away from themselves. So that results into addiction. So when people cannot make healthy choices, they are not mentally sound, they are not mentally okay. So mental health is very important at every stage of life. In naturopathy, we take mental health serious, and we have a field called mind body therapy. This field can also be called naturopathic psychology or holistic psychology, because it's far different from this conventional psychology, which you are going to see the way naturopathic psychology or mind body therapy handle mental issues. So some causes of poor mental health. Number one is childhood trauma, having a traumatic experience in life, gut issues and chemical imbalances in the brain, some medical conditions like cancer and the side effects of medication, use of alcohol and drugs, and stress. So these are some of the causes of poor mental health. So let's start from the first, childhood trauma. World Health Organization defines trauma as a deeply distressing or disturbing experience that can have a profound physical and emotional impact on a person. So, this life, some people are born into happy homes, and some people are born into homes where there is constant wars. So children born into such kind of homes is going to affect them for the rest of their life, except they seek therapy. Examples of childhood trauma: growing up in a toxic home, experiencing natural disaster, being bullied, molested, or maltreated as a child, experiencing your parents' divorce, giving inappropriate or burdensome responsibilities as a child, not being taken care of or being abandoned by a parent or caregiver, verbally insulted by your parents, humiliation, and all that. So these are examples of childhood trauma. So what does this do in the body? So trauma affects the brain and the nervous system. And the brain is called the master control center of the body. Even while you're sleeping at night, your brain does not sleep. It is the only organ who works all through the day. And the brain communicates to the rest of the body through the nervous system, which is a network of nerves, that branches into every organ and system of your body. So how does trauma affect mental health? So psychologists have made us understand that our brains are divided into two. We have the right side and the left side of the brain. So the right side of the brain is called the inner child, and this part of the brain develops in the first 5 years of a person's life. And that's the emotional and creative part of the brain. It is also the subconscious part of your mind. This right side of the brain is your gut instinct. It is the aspect of your mind that is responsible for your personality. So now, if a parent gets it wrong during the first 5 years in the life of their child, that child may need therapy to heal. Why? Because even as adults, we act and we relate to people based on how we feel. So if an adult inner child has been wounded, and the person grows up with that trauma, it's going to affect the individual for the rest of their life. So let's go on. Then the left side of the brain is the inner adult. So this side develops after 5 years of age. This is responsible for logic and analysis. It is the conscious part of our mind. and it is also responsible for collecting knowledge all through life. So the right side of the brain, inner child, is feeling and being, while the left side of the brain, inner adult, is thinking and acting. And like I said, everybody think and act based on how they are feeling or the notion they have of themselves. So if someone have had a traumatic childhood where and they've been abused, and they grew up with low self-esteem, they don't see any worth in themselves, they believe they can never make it in life and all that. And even when they grow up into adults and a lot of opportunities are presented before such individuals, they will make a mess of it because of how they are feeling and the notion they have of themselves. So that inner adult has to be healed before that inner child has to be healed before the inner adult can now think and act well. So for this to happen, this individual has to meet a psychologist or a naturopath or a mental health coach for that. So how trauma affects the nervous system? So many people react to traumas in different ways, but there are 4 moods in which trauma can send the nervous system into. Like now, there can be 4 children. Let me give an example of 4 children who grew up in different homes, but they had the same exposure to toxicity in the first 5 years of their life. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say there are 4 kids. They had exposure to toxicity in the first 5 years of their life, So, and their parents yelled at them, called them names, humiliated them, did them all kind of things. So let's say first child A, we go into fight mood. And then, okay, so that fight mood, but it is their nervous system way of saving them. It's their nervous system way of making them survive that abuse till when they can grow and be on their own. But the problem now is that a lot of people never come out of that fight mood. So now, by the time a child is exposed to toxicity, and then the brain picks up the fight mood to protect the child, that child will be aggressive, the child will have anger issues, and the child will grow up and then become that way even as an independent adult that is no more in the face of that toxicity he or she grew up in. So the characteristic of fight mood is impatient, impulsive decision making. You will not sit down and think through a decision. You just stand up and make rash decision, and then at the end you are seeing the effect. Anger issues, irritability, and need to control. So except this person comes for therapy, this person's mental health will be affected for the rest of their life. So for the flight mood, the child was exposed to toxicity, and the child always feels like running away, but there's nowhere to run to. So the child become ungrounded, they'll be anxious, they will grow up into individuals, adults that are plagued with anxiety, and then they'll now max it up by being overworking. And these are the type that are overthinkers, they will be all they are always expecting the worst because of the kind of childhood they have, and always thinking of and expecting the worst. And then they avoid rest and stillness. In fact, rest and stillness is strange to this kind of people, these people in flight mode. Anytime there's no work, you see they'll create work for themselves just to keep themselves busy, because their nervous system is not grounded. They are just running away from what is no more. So we have the freeze mood. Some children respond to trauma by freezing, like shock. So this type, they are avoidant, like they avoid people even when they grow up into adults, that no one, has the right to harass them again. They are still, going about avoiding people. They struggle in making decisions. There are some people you will meet and just tell them, okay, you can just give them choice and say that there is fried rice and there is jollof rice. Tell me the one you want. And then, they'll just be shocked, like like it will take them minutes for them to make such kind of decision. But meanwhile, someone who is mentally okay, back from the first second you're asking the question, the person knows what he or she wants. So these people in freeze mood, they also lack purpose and they procrastinate a lot. So until that inner child is healed, they'll be affected for life. And this is part of mental health. Then we have the found mood. Found means collapse, like their nervous system is collapsed. This type, they cannot stand up for themselves, like they are doormats. People can walk over them and do any kind of thing to them, and they cannot stand up for themselves. They are people pleasing, they lack boundaries, as in they are just defenseless, and then they are disconnected from their own needs. They will they will bury their own needs just to meet the needs of people, to please them and all that. And then this trait was picked up in childhood just to help them survive under their toxic parents or their toxic guardian or whatever toxic situation they found themselves in. But as they grow up, they're supposed to talk to their inner child, tell their inner child that, okay, sorry, the war is over, that toxicity is over. That is I, the inner adult, I'm here for you, I'll protect you, I'll do all that. But this thing is not easy. In fact, those who go for therapy, it takes years for them to do it. And this is where naturopathic remedies come in. So let's go on. Yes, naturopathic remedy for trauma. We have the talk therapy, we have the somatic exercises, we have breath work, breathing exercises, we have color therapy, we have the bath flower therapy, we have lithotherapy, we have herbal therapy and pet therapy, and many more. But just for the sake of our time, I'll just talk on these few this evening. So the talk therapy is common. This is what psychologists, like modern psychologists, conventional psychologists do. Mental health coaches do this, and even some of us naturopaths who are trained in counseling, we can also do this. But so during a talk therapy session, the therapist will try to get the root cause of the mental health problem, and then together with the affected individual, they will get a solution. So now, and this can involve taking the patient or the clients back to their childhood and teaching them how their current mental state was just a survival mechanism which they picked up to survive the trauma, the toxicity they found themselves in, and how they are to drop it down. So the therapist will work with the client, teach them how to adapt to a new life outside that toxicity and so on. But one thing with this talk therapy, some people never respond to therapy. They never. So this is why you see conventional psychologists, they place them on drugs, synthetic medication. Now, this helps, but there are adverse side effects of this synthetic medication. In fact, most people who have been placed on all these synthetic and antidepressants for years finally lose it and go all mad. And then some of them, it causes organ damage, causes ulcer, causes a lot of issues in the body. So this is where naturopathy is far ahead of conventional psychologists. Another thing is that this talk therapy can take years, and some people does not even respond. Some people take 6 years to start seeing the impact of the therapy. And then therapy is expensive. Some people charge hundreds of thousands in Nigeria per session for therapy. So now tell me who can afford that, and then you are going for years in therapy. So you see, it's not that visible. So apart from this talk therapy, naturopathy has something else that when added to talk therapy, in less than 6 months, you are seeing people, they are okay. They are already, as in they are loving their new life. They've embraced their new life. They have a new outlook on life. So we'll go to some of those therapies, somatic exercises, yes. So the reason why talk therapy doesn't really work like that is that emotions are energy. In fact, emotions means energy emotions. So when a child is exposed to toxicity or some kind of things like that, or an adult, yes, because trauma does not only happen at childhood level. In fact, some people can have the pleasant childhood and everything, but something can happen in their teenage, maybe the sudden loss of a parent, or like maybe in their adulthood, something happened, maybe fire gutted their business, something, and they lost everything, that can send one into trauma. But most trauma, in fact, I was reading a statistic that said 80% of people in this world, their trauma is traced to their childhood. So this is why parents have to get it right. When bringing a child into the world, giving them food, paying their school fees is just the bare minimum. The best thing you can give your child, the best gift you can give your child is a very good emotional health. You save them from toxicity and all that. But this will be just for another day. So when a child is exposed to trauma, so that energy is stored in their muscles, is stored in their organs. So talk cannot get this out. They need help. So there is something we call somatic exercise. This is different from your exercise in the gyms. This is different from normal exercise and running, running, jogging, and all that. Somatic exercise, as in there is a unique way you move your body, you move parts of your body, your joints and all that, just to remove all those stored energies, those stored negative emotions from the body. So now, after some sessions of this somatic exercise, you see the person will become brand new. Why? Because they've pushed out those negative emotions out of their body. So this is how somatic exercise works. Then we have breath work, breathing exercises. Yes, breathing exercises work a lot on your nervous system. It's the nervous system that is affected by trauma. So in whatever mood you are in, whether the freeze, fight, flight, or fawn mode, breathing exercises is going to help the nervous system come back to its normal way, its normal point of homeostasis. But this breathing exercises is different from the deep breathing exercises we know, and it should be done under a trained therapist. And then there are certain people, like people with high blood pressure, pregnant women, and people with some medical conditions. They cannot do some breathing exercises because there are like 10 different types of these breath works. So you need to work with a naturopath or someone trained in this to guide you to know the best breathing exercise for you. And with daily practice, in less than 3 months, a lot of people heal their trauma, they heal their physical body, they become brand new person and they are okay. So this is how breathing exercise works. Then we have color therapy. Color therapy is not new, but it's making a comeback right now that people are thinking this field is new. No, in fact, for ages, since the beginning of man, color has been used to treat and even diagnose diseases. The first, and there was one Egyptian book that gathered data on how the ancient Egyptians treated diseases in their days. The book dates to 1550 BC, and that book talked extensively about color healing. In fact, it even stated that when those ancient Egyptians built their homes, they hung sapphire crystals, sapphire stone on their windows so that it will reflect blue light on their roof. They were trying to mimic nature. And in color therapy, there is no disease that blue light and yellow light cannot treat. So now you can see how smart those people were. And that's why they lived longer than us, that despite all our advanced medical, wherever we are still the sickest of all the generations. Then secondly, as in Ni Cheng is a Chinese medical textbook on healing, written over 2,000 years ago by the Yellow Emperor of China. It talks a lot about color diagnosis and how to use colors to treat. Even in Arabia, there was a man called Avicenna, who, the man was the first to give the actual link between colors and disease symptoms and all that. In ancient Greeks, whenever people were sick, they were kept in colored rooms to promote healing. And right now, you see that color room, it is making a strong comeback, especially in the US and in the European countries. And then in modern times, a lot of industries are using colors to achieve their aims. Do you know red and orange color and even yellow color, they make one hungry. And that's why you see most fast foods and most snacks wrappings or packaging, they are either red, yellow, or orange color. So when you see them, you just feel hungry immediately or you want to eat. So you see it's but these people know that color can manipulate us, that color has what it does to our brain that can make us act a certain way. and they use it to make us act a certain way to their own favor. So why can't we use colors to heal our health? You see the color red. It's as in red is associated with luxury. It makes people want to spend money. And if you see some bank like Zenith, UBA, they so colors are really good. So let me go to the healing part of colors. How color heals. You see how it heals by looking at color. A lot of reactions are already happening in your brain. A lot of healing reactions are happening in your brain. So this is how colors heal. So you see green color, it is used in mental homes and psychiatric clinics to calm those who are ravaging mad and makes them relax. Green is also a color that helps people self-reflect, and those who want to meditate, it's good they stare at green colors. And that's why I see all these Buddhist monks, you see them meditating under under trees and in gardens. And that's because the green color, it helps in meditation, and meditation helps a lot in mental health. It makes people calm, it makes you focus, it makes you have a very new and positive outlook on life. Green helps you stay at peace. It clears your mind of unhealthy thoughts, anger, distress. It soothes the nerves and nervous system. Green is used to treat depression, anxiety, sadness, and other negative emotions. And then for physical diseases, green color is used to treat heart disease and respiratory issues. Blue color calms the mind, the body, and the spirit. It controls strong emotions and headaches. It makes one feel relaxed, and it relieves pain. A lot of schools use blue color because it enhances the five senses, especially that of the smell, sight, and sound. It helps regulate children's behavior. If you have a child that is hyperactive, you can change their room color to blue, their bed sheets blue, just put blue around the house. Just make sure they are seeing blue every day. See, over time, they will calm down. Blue release pain. It treats insomnia and restlessness. Then white. White is a combination of all colors. So it contains all the therapeutic effects of all colors. It charges your aura, and it heals the mind. It boosts productivity. People who procrastinate a lot, just expose them to white color. It will help their mind. And sick people recover fast when they are exposed to white color. White color improves health. And people who find it difficult to resolve conflict, by exposing them to white color, you'll be helping them. Purple has so much impact on the mind. It boosts self-awareness and enlightenment. And that's why you see most of these churches or these big cathedrals, their roofs are purple color, because it helps enlightenment. It helps your mind to be calm so that you can receive divine intervention, divine help, or whatever it is. It also releases stress, it relaxes, it makes one sleep well. Purple also sharpens one's intuition. It's good for the nervous system and the immune system. Anyone having disturbing thoughts, purple color will help them a lot, and it helps people have a deeper meaning to life. Then yellow color. Yellow is good for the nervous system. It boosts mood, communication. In fact, there is a reason why you see all these our emojis, they are painted and they are in yellow colors, because yellow helps communication. You see people who find it difficult to talk for themselves, they cannot stand up and talk for themselves anytime someone is doing them harm. By the time you expose them to yellow color, you see they'll start building confidence, boldness gradually. So yellow is good for communication, memory, alertness. It also increases relaxation, warmth, and radiance. Staring at yellow color can relieve depression. It makes one optimistic and confident about the future. It helps one focus, and it gives mental clarity. So it also gives long-term energy. Anyone battling fatigue, if exposed to yellow color, they will heal. Red color is used carefully. Yes, we use carefully here because there are some conditions. For instance, if someone has high blood pressure and cancer, we don't expose them to red color because it's so intense for this condition. So we use it carefully, but it is a very, very and therapeutic color. It energizes, it increases vitality, it heals exhaustion, mental exhaustion. You see someone is finding it difficult to think or even to stand up and even clean their surroundings, bathe. That is a sign of depression. Red color can help such individuals if they don't have high blood pressure. It also helps with paralysis and all that. Orange. Orange is for people who are exhausted, people always fatigue. And depression is if depression causes both physical fatigue and mental fatigue. Orange color will energize them. It will make them enthusiastic, and it will induce creativity in them. It motivates people and make them eager to fulfill their goals. So if you have anyone who is just there and procrastinating, the person don't have the drive, the willpower to face life and go and get their goal, expose them to orange color. It's going to help them. It heals trauma. It gives one a strong desire to achieve a specific goal. Orange emits courage. It emits adventure. And then orange color heals the immune system, lungs, and spleen. Then we have pink color. Pink diminishes anger. Anyone that is always in a fighting mood, always angry, aggressive, just surround them all around with pink, bed sheets pink, curtain pink, even the interior decor in their home pink. Over time, that aggressiveness will start coming down. And it will not help the person to become nurturing. It induces the feeling of love, compassion, and it gives emotional stability. So now, unlike red that people with high blood pressure and cancer cannot stare at for a long time, people with this condition can stare at pink, because pink has all the healing properties of red, but it is less intense. Hence, it's safer for these people. Black. Yes, this is counterintuitive. A lot of people don't know that black is a therapeutic color. It's a very therapeutic color. Black help people that are mourning heal. So that is why you see in our culture, anywhere they are mourning, people wear black. So it is not that black is associated with negativity and all that. Black absorbs negativity. So now, by the time someone is mourning and the person is looking at a black color, what that thing is doing to the person, it is helping the person to express their emotion. Some people are stuck at the death of their loved one. They have refused to accept that this person is gone. Hence, they are stuck. They are always grieving. And you know that according to mind-body therapy, long-term grieving can cause asthma and lung problems. And this is why black color is used to treat respiratory issues in color therapy. That is because it helps to remove negativity, removes mourning, it removes stressful energy. So black will help you to focus on your emotion, and then it will help you to accept that, yes, this thing has happened. So what is the way forward? How can I move forward? That is how black helps people who are grieving, who are mourning, people who are faced with shock or one trauma or the other. It gives inner peace. Yes, black helps one to achieve inner peace, because by the time you've made peace with what has happened, by the time you've mourned, you have expressed all the negative emotions that is there to express, it's now time to accept peace. Black is a protective color, so it also helps in activating the conscious mind. Then we have brown color. It's an energizing color. It makes you feel secure. For those who are always in the flight mood, anxious, ungrounded, and all that, brown treats that. It helps them be secure, stable, and all that. Lavender increases vitality and makes one feel youthful. People who are plagued with procrastination, or people who feel that they are too old to achieve anything in life and therefore they are just sitting there like that, expose them to lavender and they will heal. They want to face life with youthful energy and all that. So how do we use color therapy? Yeah, so there's something we call chromotherapy. That is healing with colors, and it's done in naturopathic clinics, wellness center, or chromotherapy center, but I don't think we have that in Nigeria now. It's only one I've seen in Lagos, and that one is not even as this. So those of you who have been to our wellness center at We Health, so it's just like our energy room, but during this chromotherapy session, they will put you in that room and just expose you to a particular light based on what they want to achieve. So you'll be coming for regular sessions, you'll be exposed to this light. And over time, your mind will be renewed, your mind will be healed, all those negative emotions will go and all that. But in case you don't have access to all that, because this field is just making a comeback and is, easier to spread. There are ways we can benefit from colors. Number one is interior decorations. Like I said, you can choose to make your curtain a particular color, your bed sheet, your sofa, your rugs, just your kitchen cabinets, your cupboards, just splash the color wherever you want to heal. Just decorate your space with that color so that whenever you look at it, it's healing you. It is healing your brain, it is rewiring your brain. So this is one way to benefit from color. Secondly is manicure and pedicure. This is for my ladies. We paint our hands and nails. So you can choose a particular color. You can choose pink, to keep you happy and all that, or red, yellow, blue to keep you stable and all that. Then choice of clothing colors. Yes, maybe you can say, okay, throughout this week, since I'm feeling low mood, I'll be wearing this particular color. I'll wear pink, I'll wear yellow, I'll wear orange, that kind of thing. Screensaver wallpapers. Yes, we touch our phones more than 100 times a day. For me, the first thing I see on my phone when I open it is a green background. So from there, it goes to my wallpaper, which is also a nature, is showing nature. So now these are ways we can just help ourselves and benefit from colors. So we go to the next way naturopathic medicine heal trauma, back flower therapy. Okay, well, this is quite, sorry. Okay, let me just tell you the story. Edward Bach was a physician in the early 1930s. He was a medical doctor, but he saw that their method of treatment wasn't really yielding much result. He noticed that people had to be on the medication, and if they stopped, the disease would come back, and then it was also giving adverse side effects. So he resigned his job as a medical doctor, and he went to the countryside. Countryside there means village. He went to the villages of England and Wales. He was in nature, studying nature, because deep down he knew that there should be a way out. So Dr. Edward Bach was able to trace the root cause of every disease to our emotions. As this man was way far ahead of his time. During that time, modern medicine has not even agreed that there was a link between our emotions and physical disease, but Edward Bach was able to do it. Then he didn't just stop there. He was able to get 38 essences from flowers that can work on the human mind. There is an essence for people who are plagued with spirit of anger. If you are always angry, there's an essence for that. People who are always jealous, there's an essence for that. So these days we use back flower therapy, and then based on your personality type, the way you react, and the traumas you've gone through, your naturopath or someone who is well trained in back therapy can mix up to 10 essences and give you to take. You'll be putting 4 drops under your tongue 4 times daily, and in less than 1 week there'll be pronounced effect. This is something talk therapy cannot do, but back flower therapy can give results in less than 7 days. So this is the power of naturopathic medicine. So please, if you are hearing me, can you clap hand for naturopathy? Lithotherapy. Yes, lithotherapy is the science of healing with gemstones. Hello, can you people still hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Lithotherapy.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Lithotherapy is the science of healing with gemstones. Like I explained earlier, naturopathy is a system of healing where we heal using diet and substances freely found in nature, where gemstones are one of it. So gemstones are crystals, they are found in the earth. You have to dig them out and all that. So they're healed by emitting their healing frequencies. The human body, gemstones are made up of minerals, and the human body needs 102 minerals to function in its peak, to function in its zenith of health. But these gemstones, by the time you have them on you, either as jewelry or close to you, they will emit their frequency, and when your body absorbs them, that frequency can work on your mind, or it can work on your physical body and heal diseases. So there are, right now, there are over 400 therapeutic stones, and the one that is prescribed for you is based on what you need. Like now we have if you can see the picture clearly, the first one is the black tourmaline stone. This stone, when you have it on you and you are going through a stressful situation, a lot of people cannot respond well to stress. So stress happens when you are undergoing a stressful situation and your body is busy releasing cortisol. So when cortisol is high in the bloodstream, it will give you fatigue because your organs will just shut down, your respiration and the normal activities of your body will slow down because your body feels that you are under threat. So now it will slow down its function so that you can escape from the danger. But if you have a black tourmaline stone on you, that black tourmaline stone will stop your adrenal glands from producing cortisol. So now you can be going through a lot of stress back to back and you are still healthy, you are still moving up and down. And people will be asking you that what are you doing? That how are you doing it? You see, this is the power of natural therapy. It's so simple but profound. As a little one that Paul in the book of Corinthians, he was saying how God uses the baseless things of this world to shame the wise. And this is stress that some people are taking all kinds of medication for. But just having this black tourmaline stone on you, is going to do a lot on you. So we have these rose quartz. This rose quartz, it works. Some people, they've been trying to look for love and they've just been meeting wrong people, and so these kind of people, they've shut out their heart to love. They say they won't love again and all that. Do you know if you have this rose quartz on you? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. If you have this rose quartz on you, it's going to remove that feeling of anger and that feeling that there is no love again. No, it's going to heal your heart and make it open to love again. And as in, these are just different stones for different conditions. So the kind of stone your therapist will prescribe for you is based on what you need. You see this clear quartz, we call it the catalyst of stone, as in it is a multi-purpose stone, and then it can be combined with other stones to amplify their effects. So this is it on lithotherapy. So apart from wearing them on you as jewelries, there is a way these stones can be infused into oil and used to massage you, which your body will also absorb. There is gem water, which you drink the water, and you'll be okay. Or even gem powder, which sometimes there are sometimes we mix stone powder and herbal powder to achieve a particular result. But like I said, this has to be something that a well-trained therapist will do for you so that there won't be reaction. Because if it's done under a well-trained therapist, there won't be any reaction or adverse side effects and you'll be safe. Then another way naturopathic medicine help trauma is through herbal therapy or aromatherapy. Aromatherapy is when you inhale herbs like lavender, people who can't sleep, people who are sobbing, they are going through grief or a tough phase in their life. They can just put lavender essential oil in drops on their pillow and it will help them sleep and relax, and give them strength to face the next day. So these are how herbs work on the mind and emotions. They are phytochemicals and even herbs. Yes, herbs emit frequencies. It heals our mind, it heals our body. We have the honeydew melon. I don't know, I think a lot of us should know honeydew melon. This fruit works a lot on stony hearts, people who have made up their mind not to forgive. When you put them on 3 days fast, which they eat honeydew morning, afternoon, and night, you see they will not only forgive the person who hurts them, they will even start eating them. That's how powerful honeydew melon is. We have bitter leaf. Yes, bitter leaf helps people with issues of unforgiveness. The liver is the seat of anger, revenge, and rage. So anytime someone is holding on to these emotions, it's the liver that will suffer, and that will make the person to be acting and thinking anyhow. But when placed on bitter leaf, before over time, the person will start forgiving. So these are just ways in naturopathic medicine that we combine all this in addition to talk therapy. And you see that in less than 6 months, we are going to achieve what our counterparts in the conventional psychology something cannot achieve. Citrus fruits, these are lemon, lime, oranges, grape, tangerine, and all that. They relaxes, they brighten mood. Even the scents from their peels are very good. So now citrus essential oils, they are also good. You can put them in your bathing water, you can bathe with them or soak in them, or put on your pillow to inhale, or your handkerchief and inhale it. Lemongrass resolve conflict and emit love. Yeah, so especially for couples who are always fighting, their cat and rat, by the time there is a lemongrass tree, and someone who knows and tell them to be taking that lemongrass together, you see over time all they are fighting will reduce, and then the bond, the love between them will get stronger. So these are the many ways that herbs help in mind and body therapy. Then pet therapy. Yes, science has told us that having animal friends, having animals that we take care of, it helps make us healthy, it helps our mental health, and it increases our lifespan. So what are the ways they do it? We have, there are neurochemicals our brain secretes and spreads to the body through the nervous system. One of it is serotonin, the happiness hormone, epinephrine, the feel good hormone. We have oxytocin, the love hormone, dopamine, the motivation hormones. But you see, all these hormones, they need to be activated when one is happy, or when one is in the midst of their loved one, or something like that. So, there are some cases where one is withdrawn, like in the case of depression, or someone in mental home, or someone in prison. I was reading one article early this year, and then it was talking about how they were sharing cats to prison inmates in US, and then just for them to see that there was a decrease in fighting and radical behavior in the prison. So these are where pets help us. So now when you look at your pet, your body just releases happiness hormone, or just releases love hormone, oxytocin, and then these hormones, they are healing. They will heal you, they'll relax your nerve, relax your muscle, and all that. Cats and dogs, yeah, they are found in nursing home, care homes, mental home, and even prison home. Yes, and then science has also told us that cats, their paws, they heal. When you carry a cat close to you and the cat is purring, it's healing your bones. So these are ways animals, they heal us. Fish, I was reading an article on insomnia some years back, and then and then guess one amazing way they were able to help people sleep well. They just kept an aquarium in their bedroom. So by watching the fish swim and just do their thing, they fall asleep calmly. I was like, wow. So these are ways having pets around you help your body releases chemicals, healing chemicals, neurochemicals in your body, which in turn will help your mental health and also help your physical health. So these are some of the way naturopathic medicine handles trauma. And trauma, like I said, is one of the first cause of mental health. So the second cause of poor mental health is the gut-brain axis and chemical imbalance in the brain. Our gut, known as our digestive system, is known as your second brain. This is because anything that affects your gut affects your brain. And then the same material your brain is made with, that's the same material your intestine and all that they are made with. And also, your happiness hormone, serotonin, is made in your gut. It's made in your gut. So anything that affects your digestive system instantly affects the brain, and vice versa. So the gut brain, they work by producing they they communicate through hormones that they produce and all that, and this is done by probiotics. So these probiotics, they are beneficial bacteria that are in your gut, and these bacteria, they make up 70% of your immune system. So this is why the importance of fiber-rich food cannot be overemphasized, because fiber is their food. By the time you are not eating foods rich in fiber, these good bacteria, they'll start dying off, and the bad ones will now take place, will now come and take over. So now, before you know, there'll be anxiety, there'll be depression and all that. Why? Because there are few gut bacteria, healthy bacteria left. So if there is an imbalance in your gut bacteria, it can affect your mood, it can affect your cognition and your overall mental health. It can make you stressed and all that. So how to care for your gut microbiome? Yes, because if you are caring for your gut, you are caring for your brain. Like I said, eat fiber-rich food. That is their food. The more fiber-rich food you eat, the more those bacteria will grow, the more you'll be happy, the more your gut will produce serotonin, you'll be sound mentally and all that. So fiber-rich foods, they are fruits, vegetables, whole carbohydrates, not refined carbohydrate. Refined carbohydrates are white flour, like white bread, all this your donuts, your pizza, your puff puff and all these junks, you know.
Okay, Dr. Yoba.
Can I go on?
Yeah, you're
Hello?
good. Go ahead.
Yeah, do you think you can round up in a minute?
Yes,
Just go
yes,
on.
I'll soon be done. I'll soon be
Okay.
done. So these are the ways you care for your gut. Drink sufficient water. Avoid the use of antibiotics. Like I do tell people, you should only use antibiotics in life-threatening conditions. We have safer remedies, herbal remedies that can help. Excessive consumption of alcohol is also destroying your gut. Use of hard drug, illicit drug. Then when sick for chronic health diseases, you seek holistic approach, one that will touch your mind and your physical body and your diet, not just to be taking drugs to be suppressing symptoms. Then you eat for your blood group. At Pui Health Wellness Center, we help you do all this because we practice holistic medicine there. So how gut problem occurs? So let me start with constipation. Every day we are supposed to move waste from our body through the bowels. But if you are constipated, over time, all those waste will be reabsorbed back into your bloodstream, and then they'll keep recycling in your body. Before you know, your kidneys will be overwhelmed, your liver will be overwhelmed. Before you know, your lymphatic system will be clogged. And then if there's a lymphatic stagnation, that is the setting stage for cancer in the body. So and then when toxins are too much in the body, the mental health will be exhausted and will be affected. Sorry, my time has already gone. If not, I would have explained how toxins cause mental health issues. But but in people that are already suffering very, very high toxicity, there is something we have at Pui Health Wellness Center to help reduce their toxic load and to revive their organs of elimination. We call it our far infrared energy room. So when you come, we put you in this room, and then you sweat out all those toxins, thereby reducing the load on the liver, the kidney, and other organs of elimination. Then you can now think clearly, breathe clearly, you even feel more energized, you sleep well, your blood pressure come down and all that. In natural medicine, accumulation of waste is one of the main causes of diseases. So stress is another cause of poor mental health. It's a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation. So some people don't know how to handle stress, but there are ways you can handle stress, like eating well. Yes, nutrients can help you, stay calm and handle situations clear and well in the time of stress. So at Pui Health Wellness Center, we
I'm not hearing anything if somebody's speaking.
No, I don't think she's speaking anymore. Sorry. So it's actually been a very insightful session with Dr. Faith. I like the perspective that she's looking at all of this, that she's bringing all of this from. Thank you so much, Dr. Faith. We really appreciate the time. So we would allow people to ask their questions if they have any. Does anybody have any particular question?
Yeah, Felix. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Okay, please let Mr. Justin talk to us, please. He's been online waiting. We need him to maybe spend the next 5 minutes maximum to just talk to us from his experience in the US, where he is an American, and that's where he's based. And he's been handling mental health issues for about 30 years or thereabout. Please, Mr. Justin, could you please introduce yourself and then give us words of encouragement, please?
Sure, absolutely. So, let me first say to both the doctors that presented, I took about, and I know we don't have time, but I took about a whole page of notes. Okay. And I won't go into it, but I will tell you this, the information, I almost laughed a couple times because it sounded like Philadelphia to me. It sounded like the United States so much. Some of the pains that you're going through with mental health. So understand this. I would like to tell everybody what mental health is, because I heard some indecision in really what that is. So first, I'll tell you a little bit about my background, but then I'll tell you what mental health is to a society and what the problem is in a society. But my name is Justin Frank, and I am a retired chief deputy of the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office in Philadelphia. Hello, somebody speaking? So my name is Justin Frank. I am a retired chief deputy of the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office and formerly a Philadelphia police sergeant and detective for many years. But I worked in technology and solutions for the city of Philadelphia. And if everyone here knows the city of Philadelphia, it's the birthplace of liberty for the entire United States. The Constitution, the Liberty Bell, Benjamin Franklin, it all started in Philadelphia. So I want you to understand that I have 30 years in experience in dealing with mental health in the community. And I will tell you, I personally have supervised the strategic roadmap for a city of several million. And I have cared for the well-being of several million. And mental health is a societal issue from the top. It is not a community issue. It is not a single issue of that poor woman that has mental health issues at work that doesn't know what to do about it. It's a societal issue. Guess what the number one killer of Americans is? Mental health issues. Guess what the number one killer of Nigerians is? Mental health issues. Mental health is a societal issue, and it's intertwined and encompassed with addiction and substance abuse. Substance abuse and addictions are things that people with mental health issues use to manage their mental health issues. Addiction is not something that somebody that has a hunky-dory life does. And once you understand that, you understand how to really attack mental health at the highest level. So there's a lot of things were mentioned today, and I won't talk too long for the sake of time, but just to give you understanding, Dr. Yoba, what I do is I provide strategic roadmap for an entire nation of what to do with these programs. But the most interesting thing I heard from this group today was the plan to use a hospital or another manufacturing plant's communication system for somebody to come take training to be part of this group. And that is the most amazing thing I heard today. A lot of research, but the best idea I've heard so far was that communication is your biggest problem with mental health. Everything starts with communication. And by the way, your biggest advocate in mental health right now, until you have the infrastructure to provide the services that you need to manage it out in the community, is the family. The family unit is the first line of defense in mental health. And when you focus on the family, that's how you make positive change in a community. It has to start with the family. You know, these things, one of the doctors mentioned early childhood development being so important. Well, it is. Years 1 through 5, 0 through 5, the nutrition and the home life of a child determine how they're going to be for the rest of their life. And it's everybody's mission here. The whole point of this talk today is we're all here because we need to ensure that the children today are the future leaders of tomorrow, to be the engineers, to be the police, to be the minister of defense, the minister of the finance, and the economics minister. They're out in the community right now in the market running around trying to get a fish. And when you understand that that's who you're trying to help here, that baby whose dad got killed or that mother that has 5 kids that doesn't have a husband anymore to help her deal with the things that these boys and girls are doing out in the streets. That's where mental health starts. Now, that there's things we can do now proactively, right? So you talk about solutions. Well, here's what we do in the United States with the employers. It's important as a community, your organizations, that you force the businesses with 50 or more people, people that employ 50 or more people, to conform to regulations and providing the services that are needed for the employees that work there, because they are the ones bringing the money home to the kids and the wives and the husbands and the aunts and the uncles. So, and we have programs that are called EAP here in United States, Employee Assistance Program. Every agency at a certain size is required to provide employee assistance. That means if you have a substance abuse problem, you go right to your employer and your job is guaranteed. That takes the mystique out of it. It's an ingrained, embedded formula inside of the company. We force it with legislation. We force it at the presidency, and that's a conduit, right? That's a conduit for an employee to go and actually keep their job when they have a substance abuse problem, and then get the community help they need to take care of it. And another interesting thing I heard today was talking about the mental health in the community. It is so the cognitive behavior. Guess what cognitive behavioral therapy is, doctor? Cognitive behavioral therapy is coaching. That's what that is. It's coaching. And there's things that you can do creating with those communication systems that you talked about to create new coaches out in the community. Guess what people really need for mental health? They need somebody to talk to. If you can convince your neighbor holistically to give their neighbor down the next village an hour to coach them on hitting all their goals and achieving the things they have to achieve, or coming up with a new skill set to go trade or something, people are aimless and lost out there. And we have to create leaders in the community to guide them. And that's coaching. That's cognitive behavioral therapy. That's teaching somebody to teach somebody else to unpack the mental things that are blocking them from hitting their goals. Like, hey, why can't you get out of bed? Why? Why do you have to drink? Why? And unpacking that with them to get to the root cause analysis with somebody. And that's what we lack here. And don't push away religion in this. In the United States, the movement where we are able to get things done in the community without funding is through religious organizations. And it doesn't have to be any specific one. All of them together form an alliance of chaplains that work together to provide another resource for people to go to when they have those depressions. I can't provide for these 5 kids. I can't provide for these 2 kids. I can't keep food in the table. They need to talk to somebody. Even if the resources aren't there, they can at least guide them to the right resources. But that's where religion comes into play. If you talk about infrastructure, and money to fund these things, guess who the biggest funder of these things are in the world? No matter if you have the same shared views as them as not, but like the Catholic Church, those guys have billions and billions and billions of dollars, and they will come to any community and embed themselves and help with finances and education. And if you are opened up to their teachings, we're talking about camp programs that they have a Bible class. And you know what? I can tell you something real funny. I'm Jewish, but I went to a Catholic university. Right. And I'm not even a practicing Jew. I'm more agnostic. But when it comes to religion, it's the faith-based, positive people that want to do good in the world. Right. Religion is something that should unify us, together. Religion should unify us in a faith-based wanting better for society, a faith-based morals based on a family being the most important unit we have. And I think we all share that. Right? What's the most important thing we have here? It's the family. Who's taking care of grandma? Who's taking care of the baby? Who's feeding the kids when someone's out to work? That's a family. That's democracy, and that's what we promote, right? And safety for these things, right? So I don't want to take up the entire time. I took a lot of notes, and if you want to hear it, I'll gladly go through it. Like, mental health is strongly correlated on a societal level. Values and infrastructure. Your values and infrastructure at the higher level are what definitely tie into mental health, because guess where mental health comes from? You've heard of Maslow hierarchy of needs and self-actualization. A person needs to be secure in their home. A family needs to be able to provide for themselves. All these things. Now, some things are outside of that. We discussed this today. We discussed that some things are mental health chemical wise, and then you need medications and ways to get them, like we talked about neurotransmitter and serotonin, norepinephrine, and all these neurotransmitter things that the doctor spoke about that are correlated with mental health, but that takes medication. And community-based organizations can bring in doctors that can write those medications, and we can work with World Health to bring them in at reasonable market value prices so people can afford them, right? Based on the market, right? That a drug company is not here gouging out the Nigerian citizens, right? We do everything in the face of a world where there's people that want to do harm to allied forces, and that's where we come in with infrastructure. There's things that you can't help. Schizophrenia. People are going to be born with schizophrenia, but what's your national plan for schizophrenia? How do you deal with them? Do you put them away in homes? Do you have a community-based system? Are they staying with the family? Does the family get a subsidy to just help feed this person that is schizophrenic or disabled and can't provide for themselves? These are the big conversations we can have at a national level at the presidency of how to create these using infrastructure to fund them, right, on a larger level. Workplace EAP, I talked about that. Providing corporate standards. So these companies, you have companies in Nigeria, they're there doing work all the time. What are their standards? We have to prevent people from building new companies that don't follow international standards, and diversity, equity, inclusive supply chain, which means the companies that come in to work with you, where are they buying their products? Are they buying their products with other people that use slave labor? Is that why they're giving it to you so freely from China or some other place? Because they're putting children to work doing it? Like, where is the supply chain? And that's why it's important to work with people that understand your needs.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate you, Justin. This program takes place fortnightly. Every 2 weeks we have this. So we'd love to have you on the next episode, because we really have to round up now, and we know you have a lot. In fact, a year is not going to be enough for us to take what you have to say. So thank you so much. We do appreciate you, but we'll let you know that we want to see you the next program.
Sure.
I hope I was helpful.
I hope I was helpful.
Okay. Yes, that would be great. Thank you so much. Now, thank you, everyone. We are so grateful for being part of this program today. As usual, we have gained so much, and I'm sure all of us have gained a lot. And it's not over. It's what we love to do. So we are just starting, as a matter of fact. In the next 2 weeks, we'll be back here on another episode. So please call on your friends, neighbors, and your family members to join us, because for sure, everybody will gain something at the end of the day, no doubt about that. So I don't know, Felix, do you have something to say, or does anybody want to say something briefly? We really have to shut down in the next 2 minutes, please.
Yes,
Felix, what do
Mr.
you have to
Clement has
say
something
now?
for us. Mr. Clement.
Okay,
Mr.
please.
Clement
Yes.
Good evening, everybody. I really want to appreciate the way the program has gone so far. I want to say that Dr. Faith really spoke very well. I have a question I want to throw at her, and she was talking about the colors. Now, for persons, I particularly have someone who is suffering from acute insomnia, and you talked about using what kind of colors can the person be made used to, so that she can overcome such. I heard you talk about the brain sleep remedy that can be used to handle such acute insomnia. Dr. Faith.
Okay. Hello, sir. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So for insomnia, for the colors that can help it, blue and purple it helps people sleep well. But like I said, healing is holistic. So we also need to know how she's eating, if she's even eating well, or like if she's absorbing the level of her toxicity in her body. So I don't know if you can have her come to our wellness center for us to do a holistic scan on her, to help her holistically. But for the colors, her looking at blue color and purple color, it will help her sleep well. Hello.
Okay, so thank you so much. We do appreciate, we cannot finish all the question and answer today because there will be so much to talk about. We really, really do appreciate your participation. Like today, now we've been able to learn that there will be other options apart from the conventional medical attention that we have been receiving in the world today. You can now see that you can play around colors and other things that nature has bestowed on us to be able to heal ourselves. So let us take advantage of this. Dr. Faith of Felix, please, can you release the address of your office so that those who can contact you and your phone number, can we see it on the screen here? So that they can contact you after this program. Yes. And you can be sure that, sorry, hold on. You can be sure that we'll expect you to come back on this program because there's so much that we know nature can do for us. So we want you to come back on this program. So, but for those of you there, please look at the number and the office address so that you can visit her to find solutions to whatever that you have. And the choice is yours anyway. You can also go to those offices or those hospitals that we're talking about. But if you need nature to treat you, please contact Dr. Faith, who will help. So Felix, meanwhile, while you're showing this, I just want to show appreciation to all of you who have been part of this program today. We thank you, Dr. Nina. We thank you, Dr. Faith. We thank you, our brother all the way from the United States, Mr. Justin. We thank you, all others, very important personalities on this platform today. Mr. Lawal, we saw you. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody that's been on this program this evening. And we want you to come back again and be part of what we do, be part of the movement, because we'll be helping so many people. And that's what we love to do. We need to help humanity. We need to reduce pressure on all of us, because when we have sane and healthy people around us, all of us will surely be better for it. There'll be less crime. There'll be less crises in our families. There'll be less crimes on the streets. All of us will be happier than we have today. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Please see the contact on your screen and call Dr. Faith for more information on how to use natural medicine to take care of ourselves. Thank you so much, and we hope to have you with us again in 2 weeks' time. And if you have anything you want us to touch on, for sure, please talk to us. Join us and let us be together and grow together. Thank you. God bless you all, and good night.